Let me check. Okay. So, hello everyone. It's gonna be a video about Kung Fu. Specifically, it's gonna be a video about animal style Kung Fu. Now, animal style Kung Fu is a very mysterious idea, you know? So, and it's a very, very deep, deep place to go. So in this video, it's gonna be very long, and I won't even have time to cover everything. But I'm gonna try my best to give you a condensed form of animal style Kung Fu and how to practice it in a way that you can actually go and use it in a real fight. We're not talking about, using it in a movie or something like that. We're talking about like real, you can take this to like a boxing ring and actually use it. You're not going to use it 100% of the time because there are techniques in boxing that are going to be superior to your animal form. So when that is the case, you don't want to use it. But it's a tool in your toolbox, right? If you're, let's say you're a Shaolin monk, and especially if you want to prove that Shaolin animal style Kung Fu can be used, you want to use it and learn this, right? But before you do that, you have to understand Shaolin Kung Fu, the origins of Shaolin. I don't care what it says in the books or whatever. The origins of Shaolin Kung Fu come from the idea that while we are human beings, we have an animal side. Okay, some of us are a monkey, some of us are tiger, some of us are crane, some of us are mantis, some of us are snake. Now there's a reason why there's 5 animals. Okay, a lot of these things you don't believe in. He's a rat, he's a year of the rat, he's a year of the monkey, year of the dragon, year of the snake, it doesn't make sense. No. Heaven specifically sends people down. Okay, when let me explain to you, okay? Heaven knows when it's the year of the rat. And when heaven sends a soul down to your baby, and they know when that is gonna happen. They know when you give birth what soul to connect to your baby. So if they know, it's their decision to send. Sometimes they want to trick you and they send it in the wrong time. Sometimes they want to mess with you, they send it at the wrong time. But the important people, especially, they're going to send it at the right time. They're not going to lie about it. And then the characteristics of that person reflect. This is why the number one thing people do with animal style is find out who they are as a person, their personality. Now you're thinking, okay, what does that have to do with anything, right? I don't. Why does it matter? Okay, let's look for 2025 years, or however long since Kung Fu has been erased, and look at boxing. Now, are there animal forms in boxing? I would say yes, because to me, animal forms is not just the striking external part. More importantly, animal Kung Fu is inside. How do you play? How do you fight inside your personality? For instance, Mike Tyson is a tiger style. He's a tiger inside. Manny Pacquiao, tiger. Floyd Mayweather, crane. Right? Floyd Mayweather is Dodge. That's a crane. Okay? Other people, Kobe Bryant, he knew. He had this Mamba mentality. He knew he was a snake. Right? The way that he plays, the way he, the jerky movement, it comes from this belief that each of us is an animal. And that's why you need to find who you are first. And you need to practice a fighting style using who you are. It's not, oh, I don't want to do boxing, I just want to do snake style. No, it's better to take one animal mindset and apply it in a fighting form. It can be basketball. It can be, I wouldn't recommend hockey. I wouldn't recommend, you know, uh, badminton. You can kind of. But I would recommend either basketball or just a fighting art like karate, like Muay Thai, like boxing. If you want to take it down the Kung Fu route and apply it to Shaolin, it's okay, but it's not the way. Okay, the whole point of learning animal style is to internalize who you are. If you watch someone, if you watch, Naoya, he's another tiger, because it's very prominent that these fighters are, superior, because some animals, they're just superior in fighting, and then some animals aren't. For instance, Stephen Curry, he's a monkey, right? The way he plays, everything is just monkey, monkey. He screams monkey. And if you watch, so again, basketball, definitely, if you're gonna train Kung Fu and you don't play basketball, you have to take basketball seriously. Now, I'm not talking about drunken Kung Fu or anything like that. We're talking about animal style. Drunken Kung Fu is a human art. You have to separate the animal style from the human art because the training is completely different. Okay? Human arts are there for you to train without touching your personality. Alright? The aim is to distance yourself from personality and focus on the strategy, thinking. When you do animal style, you're not thinking. Animal style is your inner personality. You cannot change it. Alright? That's why even after you start thinking, you're still gonna fight that way. But then if you have someone who practices Tai Chi, their strikes don't look like they're attached to anything. But if they try to make it attached, right away it looks like an animal. Okay? So to fight using animal Kung Fu, first step, yes, it's always find your style. Understand who you are. A lot of the time, some people, they're gonna watch you. Some masters, they can watch you, or just I mean, it's not very hard. Okay. You have so many boxers, they're all tiger style. Magnifico. I don't know what I forgot what his name is, but um, Magnifico. I think he's from Spanish or Philippine. Sorry. But these people, they have a lot of tiger. And then you have what's his name? Israel Adesanya. He's a snake. Okay, look at how he fights. Conor McGregor is not the tiger. Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is like, I don't even know. Nate Diaz, I can't place him. He's like some weird tiger. All these high up people, they're all tigers. I'm a tiger, but that's the whole point of, learning animal style. Because there are certain styles that are better. If I'm a monkey, I still want to learn tiger. If I'm a snake, I still want to learn tiger. But you have to learn it properly once in order to know how to learn another one. You can't just, oh, I'm gonna learn tiger today and boom, tiger. No, because you don't have experience learning one style all the way and then knowing how that works, how the process works, before applying and doing this artificial tiger, Because it's artificial. You cannot get there just by instinct, just by personality. You have to train. Does that make sense? Like, you're not getting there just because you're able to. You're getting there because that is there. Right? So it's not Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a human form, as I already said. Tai Chi is, if I'm gonna train Tai Chi, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do just this is a certain path to take for Tai Chi. Okay, there's a certain path. I practice forearms, I practice this, I make it beautiful, I touch. There's Wing Chun, I touch. But then there's animal style going for, I can use tiger style playing basketball. Because I know who I am and I know how to apply. When I'm in there, I just apply the mindset and boom. It's training the mindset. I just imagine that I'm a tiger and I just put the essence of tiger in my basketball. I put the essence of tiger. If it does not make any sense to you, that's fine, because you're not there. I put the people, they know I did it. People know that I did it. People from, whoever, they can go in my head or whatever. They know I put the tiger form, and it looks different. Again, Derrick Rose, tiger. So you have to go down this path. All right, it doesn't matter how good you are using this form. If you're a mantis, mantis is like, who's mantis? I don't know who's mantis, but once you know your form, then it's easy for you to go, okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna train tiger next. Now comes, it's like this, okay? If you know how to make chocolate ice cream, then after that, making mint, peach, apricot, vanilla, chocolate, or vanilla ice cream is easier. Or if you train in sushi, it's easier to train in French cuisine. Do you understand? Or it's easier to train in Chinese cuisine. If you train in Chinese cuisine, it's easier to train in sushi because the thinking is there. Okay? So if I not only train in boxing, but I focus on who I am. Tiger, snake, mantis, crane, monkey. Because there's only 5 general ones, right? If I train, and oh yeah, you just watch. Okay, there's people who try to fight like human, but a lot of fighters, they have this instinct. You see Tang, he's tiger. Tiger. He wants to fight. You know, all these fighters, they're all tigers. That's why if you are a not tiger and you want to fight using that form, you have to go down your path. All right, you have to make chocolate ice cream before you make mint. If you try to make chocolate, try to make mint, try to make vanilla, try to make this, that all the time together, it's not gonna work because you're gonna be confused. You don't have a straight path to mastering anything. Alright, that's why a lot of Shaolin monks, they train so hard, they know 10 different styles of Kung Fu, and then they can't use it in a fight. Because I saw a Shaolin monk, he was like, monkey style, but he didn't know how to use it in a fight. Right? He couldn't fight with it because he doesn't have boxing, he doesn't have, this IQ, right? When a tiger fights, it's used to using his claws and his body. But when you're boxing is you have to attach meaning, right? This is not just, if you just let a 4-year-old start boxing, he's not gonna get it because he doesn't attach meaning to the blows. He doesn't realize it's a jab. An easy way to even see this is you have two legs, right? One is one and the other one is the other one. So if you want to switch from one stance to the other one, that itself is going to switch your style. So if you want to look for two styles, first just switch your stance. Each stance is, for instance, my right hand is tiger. If I go southpaw, I'm tiger. If I go orthodox, I'm snake. That's just my, I don't know, let me see. Yeah, southpaw, my southpaw stance is tiger. My orthodox stance is crane. My orthodox stance is crane. So that's why I know if I'm, easiest way for me to switch is I just go from here to here, okay? And I'm crane all of a sudden. So everybody has two. So you have to focus, you practice one, you practice the other, and then you move on to all these different things. You can be this is why, you can be what? Dragon is, all of these. That's what dragon means. That's why they have a dragon style. But you could be, I don't know, make stuff up, right? Imagine. You can be, what do they have? You can be a wolf. A wolf. Just make it up. Then there's the external parts. The external parts are the stripes, okay? Basically, it's, if I'm a tiger, I know how to use my body, okay? If I'm a human, my body is not made for fighting. Okay, my arms are not perfectly made for fighting. There's ways I can do it, but I'm not made, I'm not born to be a fighter. I'm born to be a thinker. I'm born to be a musician. I'm born to feel emotions. But fighting is in there, but your body is not made to fight. Okay, it's not like you're a shark, you're a great white shark. You have a mouth full of teeth, sharp teeth, and you eat and fight to survive. You could be great white shark style. If you just want to imagine the style, like I can make it up right now. So great white shark style. It looks stupid, right? But if you want me to put great white shark into boxing, let's see. It looks stupid. It looks like I'm having a seizure, but that's basically what the great white sharks do when they're in the water and chomping. It looks stupid, but I swear if I train this for a year, I'm going to have a great white shark style. So again, it's just, your body is not born. You're not born to punch people with your fists. That is a human thing. But it's not a thing that's automatic. Alright? You're not like a tiger has teeth, jaws that bite. I mean, what are you? Your nose is made to smell. Your mouth is made to eat. Your hands are made to make tools and stuff. Boxing is basically humans come and they attach meaning to everything. So this is why, in Kung Fu, they attach different ways to attack. But they're not necessary. You can take tiger style and fight with it using boxing, and you'll be perfectly fine. Right? But if you want to go a step further, you can add. Alright? This is kind of like when you're playing Tekken and you add a combo. Right? First, you just do jab, cross, hook, uppercut, hook. Just do this stuff. Right? That's Steve from Tekken. And then you see all these other fighters, they have really cool combos and things. Different things. Just push. You can add those. Those are just as simple as boxing. But you have to do that with IQ. You have to attach it to your mind. You have to attach it to your brain as to when I'm moving this, I'm attacking. You have to attach the meaning of attacking and find a range. How am I attacking? I'm not just attacking from, some automatic thing, because it's not automatic. Your body isn't meant to do this. To fight the human body isn't meant to fight at all. That's why we develop tools. That's why we develop all these things. Human body isn't made to fight. That's why you gotta train it to fight. Alright? That's why human bodies, we don't automatically grow big muscle. We have to go do push-ups and sit-ups and whatever to grow our body. Because we're made to think. So now you want to use your thinking ability and apply that to fighting. That's what Kung Fu is. Kung Fu is not an art of, I'm going to go and be stupid. It's same as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's an art of, I'm going to use my mind and apply different types of mental techniques to help me fight better. That's just essence what Kung Fu is. So when you go out there, just, if you Shaolin monk, and you want to practice using tiger style or monkey style or any type of style with real people, I recommend just I don't care if you think it's stupid and you want to say that's a blasphemy or whatever. If you're serious about Shaolin Kung Fu and you really want to bring it back, the number one thing I recommend you to do is set up a good quality basketball net in the Shaolin Temple and start playing Shaolin basketball. They have Shaolin soccer, right? Shaolin soccer is not real. Because Shaolin soccer, you kick with your feet. It's very, very difficult to, it's possible, and I could probably do it, but it's even I have trouble. It's very, non-smooth. It's very non-intuitive, non-instinctive, intuitive. So we set up a basketball net and then apply this 感觉. They talk about 感觉. They talk about the feeling, right? You have to be able to feel the type of animal, and then you have to be in a position where it's tuiso almost. Either you spar with a helmet, or you play basketball or boxing. Right? You have to use the modern way because basketball is very useful. If you can apply it in basketball, I can apply drunken Kung Fu. I can apply Tiger Kung Fu in basketball. I never trained in other Kung Fu. I only have crane, right? So I can apply crane. It's you have to know how to learn it. Right? You can't just, how much time do I have? I have a lot of time. Again, so you have all these blows, right? These things. You have to connect them to your mind, right? This is why in Tekken, when we play Tekken, the video game, I don't know what, it's basically Street Fighter, but more advanced. I believe it's more advanced. So in Tekken, we have Kung Fu. There's Kung Fu in Tekken. And Kung Fu in Tekken is perfect, right? It looks just like Kung Fu. And this is real life. This is not like I planned this and, pre-made this animation. It's actually fighting. So how come we have Kung Fu in a video game, but we don't have Kung Fu in real life? That's the question. So you gotta think about, okay, I have Kung Fu in video game. I don't have Kung Fu in real life. How come? How come? I have it in a video game, but I don't have it in real life. Because you're not training the way that video games train it. Video games train, they have a sequence of moves. That's a combination. That's what boxers train. Boxers train combinations with their coach on the back. 1, 2, 3. But the reason boxers are very good is they think about, they visualize what their blows do. And when they hit the pads, the coach is telling them what it does, what they're thinking. They think. But when you practice forms, a lot of people practice it as a dance. It's not dance. Dance is emotion. And they practice emotion. They practice rhythm. You have to practice thinking. When you go on like this, you have to practice and visualize the strikes. You have to visualize an attack. You have to visualize how are you hitting, how are you attacking. It's not enough to know the form perfectly and can freestyle the form as a dance, because it's not a dance. Nobody in Tekken dances with their player. Nobody dances with their character. In Tekken, every single fighter who plays practices their moves against an AI. Now, this is what we need to bring into Kung Fu. We need an AI. That's what Kung Fu so much has been trying to do. Without this pair position where you have a partner who does pre-made stuff and you practice with all these wooden dummies, with all these set drills, with all this form, is to give you the appearance of an AI. Is to train to fight without actually fighting. Which is, and nobody knows how to do it. Well, then look at something that works. You have something that works. What? Video games. It's the exact same thing. Look at how a video game does it. They have combinations. These are your forms. You have to follow the form. The form gives you the combination. The form gives you the sequence of moves. You have to break the form up into pieces. It's not the whole form is an attack. No, it's several moves. E-R. That's it. Done. Okay, you see that? E-R. That's it. 2 moves. Done. You can't punch with both hands. Change the rules, right? So E-R. That's it. Done. And then you want to spar with a partner. And then the only move you can use is E-R. That's the only move you can use. And you play a game. He tries to use it against you, and you try to use it against him. E-R. Right? Just play the game. Or you practice with a partner who moves the exact same way. E-R. E-R. You don't have an AI bot that you can practice. You don't have constant opponents that you can practice against, because these are not the simple ones. The simple ones connect easy. Okay, if I'm going to go simple, it's easy to connect. Boom, 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 boom. It's easy. They don't need a lot of practice. But the more sequence you put together, boom, bah, 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 the more sequence you need to practice. So it's up to you. How can I look at a video game? I look at a video game, okay, and take that video game into real life. Because the video game has it perfect. Kung Fu completely exists in Tekken. Completely, undoubtedly. There's not a single doubt that Kung Fu exists in Tekken. So why not? You have all this crazy stuff in Tekken. They have backflips, kicks. They have, kicks to the head, boom, boom. Because what you need is an AI. Now, you could go and create an AI for fighting. You could do that using science. You can create an imaginary world and have an AI that doesn't hit you back, it just reacts and blocks. That is basically what an advanced Shaolin monk used to look like. But there are no advanced Shaolin monks. That's why we can't do that. Right? The Kung Fu master was the one that served as the AI. He would spar beginners. He would spar because he has nothing. You know he's gonna die soon of brain damage. But every single old Kung Fu master has brain damage. Why? Because they fought in battles. The hand is half chopped off. Like, what do you expect? Their fingers, missing fingers. So to serve, because they always serve, they let themselves be the AI. You kick, boom. Kick, boom. Kick, boom, sweep. That's what Muay Thai has. Muay Thai coaches, they serve as the AI. They have their pads, they have their stomach stuff. Kick, kick, kick. Oi, 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 ah, oi. That's what coaches have. They serve as the AI. Pads, boom, 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 boom. 1, 2. They have noodles, doom, doom. But Kung Fu doesn't have those because they're so stupid. You need to bring that into Kung Fu. If you don't have an AI, how can you practice? Basketball, what does basketball have? Right, they have a net empty and then you practice by yourself. Or you spar. How can you be an NBA player and you don't know how to spar? Because basketball, you can go with that, dribble, try to knock them out, and it doesn't hurt them, so you can do whatever you want. Badminton, same thing, but as soon as you bring punching and Shaolin masters are all like, oh no, don't punch, no violence, we cannot do that. No, Kung Fu is always like, okay, no violence, we have to bow, we have to do this, we have to do that. MMA has it, they spar. They have an AI opponent who is a human, but you spar in a controlled environment and then you get better. But Kung Fu doesn't have that. So when you question why is Kung Fu so bad, it's because the old systems are dead. You don't have a monk headmaster who knows all of this stuff and can spar for you, who can use these moves and show you the rhythm. You don't have that. But neither do you have any of the old systems or the new systems, or what I say, that allow you to face a semi-realistic sparring partner, AI. So I already told you about monkey style, tiger style, your first form, your first style. But of course, you cannot have a false form if you don't fight with it. So if you really want, join a boxing gym with your Shaolin monk information. Join a boxing gym. I go to a boxing gym, spar. And imagine that you are the animal. And then learn. You're going to be good. And then eventually you can add stuff yourself.